Hi everyone, today we're doing a little bit of an update on some UK stocks. So I'm going to talk about a lot of UK stocks in this video, some that I own, some that I don't own, and I was a bit unsure what video to do today, but I just felt like there's been so many little mini bits of news about these UK stocks. It'd be really good to kind of just put them into a video and talk about these stocks for maybe 2 minutes. So yeah, hope it's all useful, and if you could hit the like button, that'd be absolutely amazing. Tomorrow I'll probably talk about the stocks that I have been buying last week as well. I might do a video on the weekend as well, we'll see what happens, but yeah, that's what we're going to do today, guys. So I hope you enjoy it. I know some of you guys do like it when I talk about some UK stocks and do a little bit of a fast-paced video covering a few stocks, as well as I know some of you guys do like the deep dive videos as well. But first I want to just talk about Boohoo. So you know, it's funny because I haven't talked about Boohoo for like 3 weeks, and because I don't talk about a stock for 3 weeks, everyone's like, have you sold it? Are you not buying it anymore? What's going on? And sometimes, you know, it's a long-term investment, and quite often with long-term investments, if there's not really that much news to talk about, I generally won't really talk about the stock. With Boohoo, same again, there's not really too much to talk about. Just that what I would say is that, like a lot of growth stocks at the moment, you know, it's one of those stocks that have been absolutely killed off. It looks like it is trying to like consolidate a bit around here. So over the last month, and I think this is the same with small caps. I think a lot of them are being sold off so much that they are trying to consolidate a little bit. We'll see if this leads to the kind of bottom here. But hey, you know, I won't try time the market as a long-term investor as always. So yeah, just a little bit of news on the Boohoo side of it. But there has been a little bit of insider buying with Boohoo, and if I go on to the insider buying here, you can see there's a lot here. Apart from that one, Brian Small did pick up a few more shares. So there's a bit of insider buying going on Boohoo. So I thought I'd just shout that one out, which is always a good thing. I would like to see, hopefully, slightly a bit more of the management team. You know, Mahmood, if he could pick up some shares, that'd be pretty good going. So yeah, that's starting to happen, but I thought I'd just shout that one out, but not really too much to update about that one. Catebox has taken a dive over the last 2 months, and generally it did start selling off as a lot of stocks started selling off, like here, but this little drop here has been because of concerns around their financial reporting and saying that are their numbers up to well, legit really, not in terms of the actual like revenue and profit, but more towards the accounting side of it, and some numbers there. So we might see something from that point of view. But yeah, Catebox has had a bit of a fall off recently, but what it has done is definitely brought it down to a bit of a better valuation. You can see here the last time it was at these sort of prices was around April time, down at 20 times earnings, dividend yield of 2.4%. So yeah, it might be worth just checking if you're still happy with the financial side of it. But for those that have been on the side and waiting for a drop on this one, same time, if you think if it's not a concern to you, could be one to kind of buy up here. It is worth saying there has been some insider buying in Catebox as well. So there was a bit of a dump off here, as you can see, but that was by the CEO, and that was in November time. But the recent buy-in was here from the actual COO and director. Did pick up some shares, which is always positive after a bit of a dip like that. The next stock is Airtel Africa. So this has been probably my best performing stock of the last year, I would say, and it's had a pretty good run actually going into so far this year. So if we have a look here, you can see that, yeah, since 2021, it's been on quite a good run. The stock is up over 90%, and even into 2022, it started off the year pretty strong. Same again, this is a stock that is a bit more value based, down at a 14p ratio. It does pay a dividend yield of 2.3%, which is good. A little bit of news with this one is that it is going to start going into the FTSE 100. So obviously that's probably a positive for the stock, because obviously if you buy in the index, that will mean that obviously the shares will be bought up in Airtel Africa as well. So yeah, that's obviously really positive. And just a shout out as well, it becomes part of the FTSE 100 in just 2.5 years of listing on the London Stock Exchange, which is pretty impressive. So yeah, obviously this kind of shows how much of a serious company it's coming now at 5.4 billion. You guys know it's a fantastic company in my opinion. A stock that I wouldn't mind owning a bit more of if possible, but I won't do that until it has a bit of a dip, which, as you probably see, when you see a stock chart like this, you go into the feeling of, oh, it's never going to dip, and then what do you know, it will have a dip at some point. So yeah, all good from that point of view. Next one, I'm going to talk about a little house builder that I used to own, which is Taylor Wimpey. So Taylor Wimpey has had a massive pullback recently. If you look here, we really peaked out around January time, and since then, you know, the shares are down nearly 20%. And you know, these sort of companies, these house builders, they don't tend to trade at quite high metrics. So you'll see here that they're at 10 times earnings. But the big thing is to pay 5% dividend yield. If you're looking for a dividend stock, a decent valuation with steady growth, steady, profit growth in a nice stable industry like the house builder, well, mostly stable. Yeah, demand for houses is still going to be strong in 10 years, 20 years, as far as you can see, probably even stronger, in fact. Yeah, I mean, obviously this is potentially one that you look at and go, okay, it's just dropped to the lowest price it was at for a long time, even, back to October time. And yeah, since then, I mean, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really normally go down this low. I mean, the last time it was kind of down at these sort of lows, you're going back to, probably November 2020. So, this is probably one that's worth a shout out, which is also another one which you might want to look at, which is Barrack Developments, which is the one that I still own. I sold Taylor Wimpey to kind of consolidate in Barrack Developments a bit more. Same again, 9p ratio, 4.8% dividend yield. What you'll see here is that, like Taylor Wimpey, since January, had a sell-off, down 20%. So, yeah, for me personally, I'm looking at this one and thinking, I wouldn't mind picking up a bit more Barrack Developments on this dip, but even if you're not really interested in Barrack Developments, it might be worth looking at Taylor Wimpey for a solid portfolio addition that is, won't go bonkers. It won't be a stock that returns, 60% in 1 year. But what it will do is it'll probably give you some nice share price appreciation, and it will be steady, and it'll pay you a pretty decent dividend yield. So those are probably two that are worth looking at the moment. And like I said, I sold Taylor Wimpey to consolidate in Barrack Developments, and I am looking at this thinking I might pick up a bit more Barrack Developments. But I'm not going to lie, it does. I'm looking at this and thinking I could buy some Taylor Wimpey again. We'll see. Next up, Revolution Beauty. So I don't own this one. But it is a one that is really interesting to me. It's been making all the right moves, good expansion into the US, good brand deals, and what's happened since the IPO is it's just fallen off a cliff. Same again, just seems to be caught up in a lot of these. It's really a growth stock, I guess, with the rates it's growing at, and as what growth stocks have, even in the UK side of it, they've all sold off, and this is the same here. And it probably ties in as well with the IPO. Sometimes you do have IPOs and then they do fall off. But yeah, this is one that's absolutely selling off, and I am interested in it. You listen to the management team. They do really good interviews. Quite bullish on it. They brought a trading update out, and the trading update was all positive, moving in the right direction. 41% sales growth, expanding into the US. All looking pretty good. And if you look at what analysts are predicting, they're predicting nearly 20% revenue growth, starts moving to profitability as well, which is interesting. And the next one is In the Style. So this is a bit similar, kind of in that fashion range as like a Boohoo. This has had a massive fall off. This interested me a while ago, and I just kept it on my watch list, and since I've kept it on a watch list, it's just gone lower and lower and lower. It's down nearly 60% since I had my eye on it. And yeah, this is one that's fallen off a cliff, but same again, there's a lot of positives going on with it. They brought a bit of a trading update out. The trading update was pretty positive. Sales still growing at double digits. And if we just look at the financials, the revenue growth is moving in the right direction. Same again, there's a chance to get to profitability, and they start making good amounts of profit, and revenue still growing at a fast rate. A price to sell, it's below a 1 price to sales ratio, and same again, it's pretty healthy on the balance sheet. The ownership, they have plenty of skin in the game, as you can see here, 23% founder-led company. So as well as Revolution Beauty, In the Style is definitely one that's very interesting to me at the moment. As always, the problem is that there's just so much dipping and just so limited cash, but definitely two interesting ones to me right now. Next one is a little bit of an update into one of my favourite companies, probably same again, one of my better performers over the last 12 months, which is Untitled Chocolate. It has been consolidating a little bit since November, but for some reason the share price just went crazy. In between September and November, went on a crazy run. They brought a trading update out. Their trading update was, once again, theirs was really positive. The Q2 revenue increased 37%. And if we just have a look at the moment of the financials, this is a company that just steadily grows the revenue in the right direction, profit in the right direction, as they expand into the US and Japan, and everything there is going absolutely fantastic. So yeah, you got same again here, a company that's brought out some really good trading update, financials all moving in the right direction, financially, health-wise, it's pretty solid, and ownership-wise, once again, you got a founder-led company with plenty of skin in the game. So yeah, another company that I own that brought out a really good trading update as well, and holding that one there. So hope you enjoyed that one there, guys. Just a quick scan through a few stocks to keep an eye on, a little bit of a shout out to a couple of trading updates as well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed a little bit of a quick fire, and if you could hit the like button, that'd be amazing. If you're new, subscribe, and if you do want to start investing, there's some links to some brokers in the description, and I'll see you on the next video.